Welcome back, guys. Alex here, TCG Metagaming. So in today's video, we have listing and shipping your cards on Tcgplayer, and basically just a brief process or overview of how to do it. It's very simple, but some of you guys are maybe new, maybe don't know how to do it. I'm glad to show you what's up. So a brief overview of the account or where we're at so far. Currently, we're at level 3 seller. We should be at a level 4 seller here next week. Once this count right here hits 51, we'll be at a level 4 seller, and that's where the game really changes. Um, the bulk that I had in the last video, I did sell it for 600 bucks, and then what I actually did was I actually bought $600 worth of these alternate art Vs. It cost me 50 cents per V, which is pretty cool. A lot of them like multiple copies, etc. And what I'm trying something new is I'm actually going to list every copy bare minimum at a buck 50 or a buck 25. So I'm guaranteed to double my money. So that's just something I'm going to try. And I'll let you guys know what's up in the next video. I will tell you that I actually had a guy order 187 alternate art Vs, came out to like 260 bucks. So I'm already making my money back from that purchase, which is pretty cool. Bulk buying, another thing, just an important thought. Make sure you have somebody that's always willing to buy your bulk, no matter if you pick through it, etc. You need to have that buyer always. I'm actually making a website now where you guys can submit your bulk. I don't care if you pick through it. I don't care if you took every good card out of it. Um, I will always buy your bulk, and then we can go from there. So yeah. All right, so listing your card. Um, Basically, there's two different ways that you can list your card. I'm just going to do Yu-Gi-Oh! For an example. You can do Pokemon, you can do Magic. In Yu-Gi-Oh! You can list at max three, or you can play cards at three of in a deck. I know Pokemon and Magic, you can play four of in a deck. For instance, I have this card Mseti. This is a three of, and I'm going to show you the difference if you only have one copy versus three copies, what your price um, you can sell it for. So let's just go over here to inventory real quick, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to search the name, so Mseti, and then just make sure you select the right copy. So right here you have three different options. You have lowest listing, last sold listing, and market price. What I usually like to do is I like to click market price. Now, if you're not a level 4 seller yet, your goal is to get as many sales as possible. So you can list it at the lowest listing. I just don't want to nickel and dime everybody, so I started listing everything at market price, and just going from there. It's not that big of a difference. It's only like $1.50, $2 difference for what they have right here. But now what we're going to do is we're actually going to go look and see the difference between listing one copy and listing three copies. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to click this link right here. And then what we can see is all of these people have one copy of this card, and it's about 64 bucks. So in reality, I can get $64 for this one card. Now, what happens if you have three of a card or four of a card, like in Pokemon or Magic? What you can do is on the left-hand side, there is a filter. For Yu-Gi-Oh, we have the three or more. For Pokemon, you have the four or more. And then what we can do is we can see the first person that has three or more of a card of this card. And you can see they have four copies at $69.99. So they have it listed at almost $5 more. I'm sorry, $6 more than what you would have listed at $63.99. So if you have more quantities of a card, always look and see what person has three or more and compare your prices to them. So in reality, I could have listed all three quantities at $63, but then I would lose out on the extra $6 because I have more quantity. Now, this doesn't happen for every single card. My advice is just to look it up and see. So I thought that was pretty cool. So what I would do, if I only had one copy, then I would have to list it at $63.93. You can't list one copy at $69.99. You're less likely to sell it. But if you have one copy, you can just list it at $63.93. Now, if you had three copies, I would list them at $69 even and just be a dollar below that next person. All right, so that's a pretty cool tip when you're listing your cards. Is definitely look out for the quantity because there's a lot of times where you can get a couple more dollars because you have more quantities. Okay. Next we have shipping your cards. So I want to give you guys an example between shipping one card versus shipping 18 cards in a plain white envelope. All right, so we have our one card. All you're going to do is put it in the top loader. I do have these things. They're called team bags. So if you can see right here, I showed it in my previous video. So basically the card goes in just like this, and then basically you just seal it over so nothing can come out. Like I could shake this as hard as I want and the card won't come out. So and these top loaders you can fit almost up to 4 cards in a top loader for these particular top loaders. So yeah, so I went ahead and printed an order for you guys. I wanted to show you something, so I'm gonna try to get as close as I can. On this order form, when you print your order, there's a dotted line right here, and that's where you want to fold your envelope. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold it on that dotted line right here, and then what I like to do is I just put the card in underneath that folded line, so it's going to look like this right here. And then what I would do is I fold the back to the back of the card, so it's going to look like this, if you guys can see that. And then all you have to do is just fold it underneath the top layer. So it might take some practice to get used to it, so just try it. And then now, that's why these plain white envelopes are very important, because it has the window and it has their address right there. So all you're going to do is just slide it in, and then everything matches right there on your order sheet and on your envelope. Boom, you're ready to go. Very simple to ship a card. That's why I advise window envelopes and the invoice, because the invoice tells them what they're getting. A lot of times people will order multiple cards from multiple people, and it's just great to have an invoice so you know where that card came from. All right, so now you got the question, Alex, what if somebody orders 18 cards for me? How do I ship it? Very simple. So all I'm gonna do is, use the same fold method. You're gonna use the same fold method on this 18 card order. So right here, I have what are called card savers. These card savers can fit almost, I want to say it's like 14 cards in a card saver. They're called card saver ones. You can get them at cardboardgold.com. And then all I did is I put them in a team bag, and then basically I just fold the team bag over and seal it so the cards can't come out. Okay, that's all you got to do. And then what I do here is I just kind of overlap the top part of them. Got my envelope, we got our fold. We're gonna put it just like this right here. If you guys can see that, just kind of how we did the first one. And then you're gonna fold the back into it, and just like that. You can see it's not that thick. It's still only going to cost you 1 stamp. I think when you get to like 20 cards or a couple more than that, it might cost you 2 stamps. And then basically we're just going to put it in, and then boom, you're ready to go. So that's what can happen when you get any orders over like 8 to 10 cards. You can use 2 top loaders if you need to. um, if you're using the card savers, you can do orders up to 14 cards in that card saver. That's what I do. If I get like a card with order with like 12 to 14 cards, I'll just put it in one card saver and just put it in the middle of the envelope, and you can tape it to make sure it doesn't move in the envelope. And that's what I do. Now, there are sometimes where, like for the example I gave earlier, the guy ordered 187 cards, and you're just like, how do I ship 187 cards? You have to use a bubble mailer when you do that. These bubble mailers are padded. You can, you can put a thicker amount of cards in here. In another video, I'll show you guys how to use like stamps. I use stamps.com. Some people use, I think it's like Pirate Ship. I use stamps.com and LetterTrack when I'm doing my orders. So some neat tricks. You can put a 17-cent tracking label on your orders as well, and that's when we get into the advanced stuff. This right here is just for the basics. So yeah, so if I was to ship that 187 card order, I think I put it in a box actually. Yeah. Anyways, when you get cards of like 20, 30, 40 cards, you can put them in a bubble mailer. That's probably what I would do. I'll have another video about that. So yeah, so that's basically all you have to do when it comes to listing and shipping. It's very simple, guys. Once you start printing orders and getting orders in, you'll get the hang of it. And that's basically all you have to. I always got the cat up there. I can't get him away from me. So yeah, if you have any questions, definitely drop them down in the comment section below. I look forward to answering them. And then we can just go from there. As always, guys, happy bulk buying.